finally worked out exactly how much money is hiding inside those 3 minutes. And the figure is genuinely staggering. So let's get into the new stuff. Because the great hydration break debate didn't die down, it took off. And the answer to who's right turns out to depend entirely on who you ask. So let's ask all of them, and follow the trail all the way to the people who never say a word. First, what even is this thing? FIFA has made a 3-minute break mandatory in every match at this World Cup, once around the 22nd minute of the first half, and once around the 67th minute of the second. Players take on water and electrolytes, and play stops dead. In effect, every match is now split into 4 quarters, which is something fans of American sports know intimately, and football fans have never seen. Because in 22 previous World Cups, the game has never once had a scheduled, coordinated break in play. Water breaks used to exist only at the referee's discretion, only when it was genuinely roasting. Now they are locked into every single game, hot or not. FIFA calls it part of its commitment to player welfare, says it is backed by experts, and points to the sweltering Club World Cup last year, where the heat genuinely scared people. And that is where our first group enters the debate. Ask the doctors, and FIFA actually looks good. The medical experts are not against the breaks. They think the breaks do not go far enough. Douglas Casa, who runs an institute dedicated to preventing sudden death in sport, said the breaks absolutely need to be longer than 3 minutes, at least 5 minutes, preferably 6 minutes. Mike Tipton, who studies extreme environments at the University of Portsmouth, warned that thanks to climate change, several 2026 venues are likely to blow past the recommended high-risk heat threshold, especially for afternoon kickoffs. So if you ask the people whose entire job is keeping athletes alive in the heat, the verdict is clear. The breaks are necessary, and FIFA should be doing more of them, not fewer. Point to FIFA. But then ask the players, and the mood flips. Netherlands captain Virgil van Dijk said the breaks are interesting, and not in a good way. His issue is that every time the broadcast cuts to a commercial, and he said that is not how he likes it, and it is not great for the neutral fan watching at home. His suggestion was to judge it game by game. If it is genuinely hot, fine, put the breaks in, but do not force them on every match regardless. Belgium's Yuri Tielemans landed in the same split place. He said it can work both ways, and in cooler cities maybe you should not do it at all. But then he admitted that if you do it for some games, fairness means you have to do it for all of them. And there is the trap FIFA built. The moment they made it about uniformity, they locked themselves into stopping games in 19-degree weather in Toronto, in air-conditioned domes with the roof closed, because the alternative, pausing some matches and not others, would be even more unfair. So the players are stuck, and most of them are not thrilled. Now ask the fans, and it's barely a debate at all. When The Athletic polled more than 9,000 of its readers, a brutal 76.4% called the breaks problematic. Only about 13% said they were no big deal, and barely 10% admitted to actually liking them. And in England's 4-2 win over Croatia, the supporters in the stadium flat out booed when the referee signaled the break. Their number one complaint wasn't even the ads, it was momentum. Because a 3-minute pause doesn't just interrupt a match, it can completely change it. And there is one example this tournament that proves it perfectly. Germany against Curaçao, the tiny debutantes. For 21 glorious minutes, Curaçao were living a dream. They had equalized to make it 1-1. They were on top. Germany were genuinely rattled. And then the referee called the hydration break. Germany's coach gathered his players, settled them down, fixed the problems, and Germany went on to win 7-1. Was the break the only reason? No. But did it stop a struggling giant at the exact moment it was wobbling and hand the coach a free reset? Absolutely. And that will not be the last time this tournament that a game turns on FIFA's 3-minute timer. Which brings us to the group that has quietly fallen in love with these breaks, the coaches. Because for them, this is not a cooling break at all. Belgium's Rudy Garcia said it outright. For him, it is a coaching break or more than a cooling break, and it is very important. France's Didier Deschamps called it a chance to adjust a couple of things and said plainly that it is 4 quarter times we have got now, and the coaches adapt. Pochettino was caught using the pause to show his United States players clips on a laptop. Jesse Marsh used Canada's break to fire his team up, chasing an equalizer. So a stoppage sold to you as hydration has quietly become the one thing football always refused to have: a tactical timeout. A built-in reset button that lets the smartest coaches re-coach their teams twice a half. That is a genuine change to the soul of the sport, smuggled in under a water bottle. So that is the debate. The doctors want it longer. The players want it situational. The fans want it gone. The coaches secretly want to keep it forever. Everyone is pointing at a different reason. Everyone has a case. And while they all argue, there is one group sitting quietly in the corner, saying absolutely nothing, making an absolute fortune. Broadcasters. Follow the money, because this is where the debate actually ends. Under the rules, a network can cut to commercials 20 seconds after the break is signaled and has to be back 30 seconds before the restart. Fox in the United States has been cutting to ads every single break. And in the very first match against Mexico and South Africa, it not only ran ads through the break, it came back late, after the football had already restarted, so fans literally missed live World Cup action. And here is the math that explains everything. 6 extra minutes of commercials across 104 matches adds up to roughly 10 hours of brand new premium advertising inventory in the most lucrative TV market on earth. 10 hours. When asked about its ad inventory, Fox declined to comment. And the thing that gives the whole game away, is that not everyone does it. Telemundo does not run ads through the breaks. Neither do ITV or the BBC. They keep the cameras on the pitch, on the huddles, on the coaches with their laptops, which proves, beyond any doubt, that cutting to commercials was never required by the rule. It was a choice, a very, very profitable choice. So now the real question hangs over the whole tournament. What happens after? Because if there is 10 hours of advertising gold buried inside these breaks, how long before broadcasters start lobbying FIFA to make them permanent? To keep them in every competition, every season, forever. Something that began, genuinely, with the safety of players in dangerous heat, could end up turning football into a 4-quarter, ad-friendly product by stealth. And the most damning question of all, the one nobody at FIFA wants asked out loud: did anybody actually ask for this? Here's the truth underneath the whole debate. The genius of the hydration break is that everyone can find a reason to argue about it. The heat, the momentum, the tactics, the fairness. And as long as everyone is busy arguing about which reason is the real one, the breaks stay exactly where they are. And the one party that never has to defend them, never has to say a single word, is the one quietly cashing a 10-hour check. That's how you win a debate. You make sure everybody is arguing about everything except your wallet. So where do you land? Are the hydration breaks smart player protection, a sneaky tactical revolution, or just the most expensive water break in history? Drop it in the comments. And subscribe if you want World Cup coverage that follows the argument all the way to the money. A week ago, this was a minor annoyance. Now it's the biggest fight at the entire World Cup, and it just escalated. Because new evidence has landed, new voices have spoken up, and the hydration break debate that everyone thought would quietly fade has instead exploded into something nobody saw coming. The world's best players are now openly turning on it. Top coaches just admitted on camera what they're really using these breaks for. Medical experts have come out with a verdict that completely flips the argument on its head. And buried in the numbers, Somebody